this one's question is, are you out of the broom closet? Short answer, yes, no, sorta. I don't really hide it, but I'm not like all up in people's faces going, guess what I am? Because I don't particularly want to hear what people think, guess what I am. I don't know, are you a bitch? Yeah, maybe. About 15, 16 years ago, I started Wicca. Shortly after that, my mom found out. I honestly forget how my mom found out, but she did. I had a group of friends. We were friends first. We became a coven later with about 8 of us. We go over to each other's houses, have sleepovers, and our sleepovers usually involved casting circles, meditation, spell work, and so on and so forth. Yes, we watched The Craft. We didn't follow the movie The Craft, but we had watched it. And honestly, it's still one of my favorite movies, so screw that. When my mom found out, she wanted more information, so I gave her one of the only books I had at the time. I had, like, I think it's the Wiccan Bible. And there was pictures in there, and there was nudity in there, and so this is what she had to go by. And I figured it was a thick book. If you wanted any information, go look through that. Maybe it was not the best book to give her when she was looking for more information, but she sort of accepted it. Except she kept going around, and like just random moments, she'd just turn to me and go, "You know, I believe in the devil, right?" And I'd be sitting there going, "Yeah, that's great." My dad didn't really care. The most he would crack up whenever The Simpsons came on with their Halloween special, and it was the Easy Bake Coven. A few months after my parents found out, they eventually told the rest of my family, my grandparents on both sides of my family being the last ones to find out. And they didn't really care. I mean, my grandma and my grandpa were Catholic, but they didn't really care. My grandma was the best on my mom's side, took it very well. She studied religious classes at one point in her life, and she just thought it was interesting. I think she probably thought it was a phase, because periodically over the years she's asked me, "Are you still witchy? Are you still Wicca?" And I'm like, "Yep, still am." Although now I associate more with just paganism in general than Wicca, but I don't want to have to explain the whole thing all over again, so I just go with Wicca. They took it well. Then, probably about 5-6 years ago, 2009, I moved up north with my husband for his work. And I kind of had to go back into the broom closet, very much so. His work probably wouldn't have been too favorable towards the whole pagan thing. Even though he's not pagan, he's if he associates it to anything, it's Christianity. But even that, he's not an overly spiritual, religious person. But also, very small village that we moved to up north, and there were stories of them burning and throwing out Dora the Explorer because Dora uses magic. So I took off my pentacle and I kept to myself. What really sucked is I actually ended up losing my favorite pentacle because I kept taking it off and on. On one of the flights that I was coming down, I thought, oh, I'll put my pentacle in my pocket before I get off the flight, and there might be people I know. And I guess I had a hole in my pocket and I lost my favorite pentacle. So I'm still now looking for a pentacle to replace that with, and I have one or two, but I haven't come across any that I really like. Anyways, now I've moved down south and got a house, and I'm starting to set it up and get nested into it a little bit more. Like my neighbors, I haven't found a reason or a need to come out to them yet. But again, I'm not hiding it either. Also, my mother-in-law, I knew my mother-in-law for a few years before we went up north, and I wore my pentacle around her all the time, but I never told her that I was pagan. That said, my grandma and my mother-in-law have talked a few times. They like to talk, I think, and I'm pretty sure my grandma's probably brought it up once or twice, but my mother-in-law has never said anything, so whatever. When I meet new people now, it's not the first thing out of my mouth. If the people I think are cool or can kind of handle it, if the subject of religion or paganism or whatever gets brought up, then I'll mention it. You know, if I had my pentacle, it would just make it a lot easier. I could just say like, hey. That said, I do have Jehovah's Witnesses that come by every so often. And I studied religion in college, and I've always been interested in folklore and stuff like that, so they come and they talk to me about this stuff, and I have a little bit of knowledge of it, and I think they actually like that. I don't just tell them to get lost, because they're not trying to tell me what to believe, they're just saying what they believe, and hey, look, this is what this says. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's great, that's nice. And I never invite them in the house, so they stand outside in the rain at my doorstep, and they eventually leave after about 5-10 minutes. They used to come early in the morning on the weekends, so So I put up a note on my door saying, look, I'm not interested, thank you, but no thank you. And they stopped for a while, and now they started coming back. I had a pentacle I could just answer the door with. I know one time I answered the door and I had metal going in the background. They didn't stick around too long after that. In fact, I think that might have been the last time I actually talked to them. So are you out of the broom closet? I'd like to say for the most part, yeah, I am out of the broom closet, but there are some people in my life that I don't know. So we'll go with yes. Sure. Anyways, see you later. Bye.